Namaste to all. A question again and again comes in my channel that why Almighty God did not protect Maharishi Dayanand Saraswati. You have been mentioning in your channel that Paramatma will protect Dharmatmas, Paramatma will protect the Vedic followers. Why Maharishi was not protected by Paramatma? This question comes to me again and again in the last several years. I think 2025 we are entering April, so I started this channel in 2020 March, so 5 years is over now. Many times many people have asked these questions. I did not make a specific video on this topic, but I thought I should make it. And also thanks to one Acharya ji, his name is Satyajit Acharya, Muni Satyajit Acharya from Vanaprastha Sadhaka Ashram. He also had spoken on this topic recently. So I took some notes from his pravachan also to clarify, and also some more points I want to add from my point of view also. That, see, first of all, yes, Maharishi was given poison, and Maharishi was given poison not once, not twice. He was given poison several times, more than 10 times, I think 16 times or 14 times. He was given poison by various people. And every time when he was given poison, Maharishi escaped death. Maharishi was not impacted because of his, number one, Brahmacharya, number two is Yog Shakti. My Acharya, in one of his pravachan, he told, the Yog Siddhi will work only when the person is a Brahmachari. Even in Maharishi Dayanand Saraswati's case, my Acharya was mentioning, his yoga power could work, his yoga siddhi by which he removed the poison from his body. It was successful because he was a brahmachari. If there is no brahmacharya shakti in the body, yoga siddhi will not work. Nothing will work. So Maharishi was given poison several times. I think more than 10 times, let's assume. Every time he removes poison from his body. Lastly, understanding that he will easily escape poison, people also, I think there is one instance where Maharishi is doing Sandhya Upasana in the river bank. Maharishi is doing Dhyan. Three Muslims will come to kill Maharishi. Maharishi ko utakar pani mein fenk dete hain, to kill Maharishi by throwing him in water. The moment somebody touches him from the back, Maharishi understands their feelings, is the feeling that they are trying to kill him. Before these people threw Maharishi in the water, Maharishi is a Balwan. Maharishi was like 7 feet tall. He's a very big Balwan and Brahmachari. So Maharishi will, as single-handedly, he will attack these 3 people and throw them inside the water. And later on, Maharishi himself will jump on the water to save these people because the water is flowing fast and I think they do not know swimming. So Maharishi will immediately jump on the water and save them also. So this is the greatness of Maharishi. So here, at last what happens? At last, Maharishi's own maid, the servant who is cooking food for Maharishi for years together, at last he will take bribe from somebody, supari, and then to mix poison and glass pieces. So they all know that by poison Maharishi will escape. Nobody can beat Maharishi, nobody can kill Maharishi. So the only option is to mix pieces of glasses in poison so that his internal organs will get cut and he will die. See the krurta. So Maharishi will be fed milk with poison mixed with glass pieces. The moment he drinks, he knows that he is gone. Maharishi will find out. Maharishi knows that he will not get saved. So this is what happens. So here, before understanding why God did not protect, or did God really protected him or not, or will God really protect all of us who are Dharmatmas or not, we must understand the qualities of Paramatma, and also we must understand what is there in the Vedas. If we have misunderstanding of Paramatma, we will always be in doubt. We must understand the qualities of Paramatma through the Vedas. Please go through my channel, the playlist God and the playlist Vedas. I have made thousands of videos on qualities of Paramatma. Each and every Ved mantra has got a unique quality. how God protects us, how God is giving us knowledge, how is God taking care of us as a father, as a mother, etc., etc., has been mentioned in those mantras. So in this case also, when we understand the quality of Paramatma, we will understand through the Vedas. God has given one Veda mantra, not one, several Veda mantras, in which God says that you are Jivatma in the human body. I have given you free will. You can do any karma. But what karma if you do, you will attain mukti, and what karma if you do, you will not attain mukti. Also I have been given in the Vedas. So you have a free will to choose what you have to do. You can drink, you can smoke, you can do all the bad karmas. That's your own free will. But if you control your senses, if you follow brahmacharya, if you are a Sanyami Purush, if you do tapasya, if you have Ishwar Pranidhan, if you do Swadhyaya, if you do name jap, if you do Agnihotra, if you are serving your Acharya, then you will definitely attain mukti. If not mukti in this janma, you will get sadgati in the next janma, and you will again progress in the spiritual path. So God has given free will, but God is giving how to use the free will also. God is giving the knowledge through the Vedas. So number one point is, God will not come and stop any one of us when we do our karma. Either we do good karma or I do bad karma. Sitting inside the room, I used to give this example. Sitting inside this room, my family is out of country, out of station. In my room, I can do anything. I can do any bad karma, I can do any good karma. God will not stop me. God does not stop me. Will not stop me is not a right statement. God does not stop me, because God has told in the Vedas that you have a free will. So this we must understand first of all. So God cannot and does not and will not stop a person giving a poison mixed with glass milk to Maharishi. A person is handing over and Maharishi is demanding milk. Please give me milk in the night. So this person is giving milk. God cannot and will not and does not stop it, because this servant is doing his free will. It is not Maharishi's karma fal. It is not the result of Maharishi that he drinks the juice, he drinks the milk which has poison. It is this person's free will. His free will is what? His free will is sankalp to kill Maharishi. He has taken a sankalp. What sankalp? He got inspired by money. Somebody, that Vaishya, prostitute, one prostitute whom Maharishi used to scold earlier. That prostitute will give bribe to this servant, maid servant. She will give, I think, 500 rupees or something, huge money. At that 150, 160, 150 years back, gives huge money to this servant and say that you mix this one, and then so that Maharishi is dead tomorrow. So this guy has taken a kind of sankalp to kill Maharishi. So, and this guy is processing it and then giving milk. So God cannot stop it at that moment. Please understand that. Then what is meant by God's protection, we must understand. First of all, we must understand how God protects us. My Acharya used to say always, Paramatma to nastik ko bhi roti deta hai. God feeds even the atheist. How God protects us? God protects us by giving us air. Imagine there is no air for 5 minutes. Imagine in this world, suddenly air disappears for 5 minutes. Suddenly something happens, like suddenly earthquake can happen, suddenly something can happen. Suddenly something happens that the air suddenly is gone from the atmosphere. Imagine, in 5 minutes, no life exists. No human beings can sustain for air without 5 minutes or 3 minutes. Nobody, most of us will die. Maybe a yogi can sustain for 8 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe. My Acharya used to say that a yogi can sustain 8 to 10 minutes without air. He can hold his breath. But all of us will die. So God protects all the humanity by giving air. Not only humanity, all the prani. God gives us sun. God has created sun, so sunlight is protecting us. Without light we cannot see. God has made a beautiful human body. And if you see inside the human body, you speak to a doctor who is a MD, who has great doctor, speak to him to understand how the human body works. Every doctor is amazed by the human body. So it's a unique system created by Paramatma. Also, it's a Raksha of Paramatma, not only to Dharmatmas, to all of us. So God protects. That's why God's name is Om, Avarakshane Dhatu. God protects even the atheist. God gives food even to the atheist. God gives air, water, everything even to the atheist. Bare minimum He gives it to everyone. Also, we must understand that when somebody dies, suddenly something happens to me, and my family. Since I am a believer of Paramatma, what I will say, thank God that the loss is only this much. Suppose I lost 10 lakh rupees in business. I will say, thank God it's not 1 crore, it's only 10 lakhs. I can manage. I will say like that. Another person will say, maybe he say that, oh, this is result of my karma, maybe. He could say something. Another person will say that, see, Paramatma, there is nothing called as God. If God is there, why I will make loss? There is nothing called as God. So different people can claim about Paramatma in different aspects based on their own understanding of what is God, what is life, etc. So how God protects us? Number one, God gives us everything: air, water, sunlight, moon, crops and vegetable, and He has created the human body. He has given us eyes to see. He has given us the indriya to perceive and then understand and take decisions, etc. This is one protection. The real protection is what? Real protection is when something happens by somebody's free will. In this case, Maharishi has been given poison. In this case, Maharishi is dead. After 2-3 months, after some time, I don't know exactly, 2 months or 3 months, 6 months, Maharishi dies. How God protects Maharishi? Did God really protect Maharishi? Yes. In this case, what happens? Maharishi is a Jivatma. Maharishi is not. See, we must understand the protection of Paramatma not with one Janma. Paramatma, we must not have short-term vision. The problem is we have only short-term vision. We just say, I must get protected by the body. Body is very temporary. But Paramatma's protection happens with the karma. So, suppose example, there are two. One is Maharishi is a Muktatma, he is a Samadhist yogi. The other would be Maharishi is not at final, has not gone to final stage of Samadhi, for example. Let's assume both the cases. In the case of Maharishi is a complete yogi. In that case, what happens after Maharishi leaves the body? That yogi is in Muktavastha, Mokshavastha. And moksha is the real protection, because moksha is the complete insulation of dukkha. No dukkha in moksha, so it's a protection, number one. Number two, if suppose Maharishi has not gone to mukti stage, then also Paramatma, after Maharishi leaves the body, Paramatma understands all the karmas and awards Maharishi, I'm just taking this name Maharishi, but anyone, awards that Jivatma accordingly. The next birth is awarded accordingly based on the Jivatma's karma. So this is a protection. And if there is any anyaya done to that Jivatma by another Jivatma, Almighty God will correct it and give more facility in the next birth. Because the anya is like, girl gets raped. Recently, that what happened in that Kolkata hospital. The girl was raped and killed. So that Jivatma, when that Jivatma goes to the next birth, Paramatma will see that this is Anyaya Purvak death. Anyaya means it is not in her karma. Because God will not give the result of the karma by those deeds which are prohibited by God. So rape is prohibited, molestation is prohibited, murder is prohibited. So all these things are prohibited. Murder, Maharishi was murdered. So it's murder is prohibited by Paramatma. So that's not the result of Maharishi's karma. It's the result of somebody else's free will. So in the next birth, when the Jivatma takes next birth, Paramatma will see that, okay, this Jivatma in the previous birth has got Anyaya. So as a supreme justice, Paramatma will give something more in the next birth. In case of Maharishi Dayanand Saraswati, we know he is a mukta, he has attained samadhi and he has gone to moksha. But in case of somebody else similar to Maharishi, who is a Dharmatma, who has not attained Yoga Samadhi, in that case the next birth of that Jivatma will happen in a yogi's place, where that Jivatma will listen Vedas from the birth, where that Jivatma will learn Ashtanga Yoga philosophy, where that yogi will again get a chance to attain Samadhi in the next birth. So this will happen. This is how Paramatma protects. So did Paramatma protected Maharishi Dayanand Saraswati? Yes, he protected. He 100% protected, because God's name is Om. Om itself means Sarvarakshak. And Paramatma also is Nyayakari. Shanno Ariyama. Ariyama means Nyayakari. Paramatma will never do injustice, but we people can do injustice. We do injustice every day. How many others, we are spoiling, like go to office. I am jealous of somebody else's growth, and then I am trying to do politics and then make his growth stop. So I am doing anyaya, right? So this kind of anyaya, who is watching? Paramatma is watching. So in the next janma, if that another person has got anyaya, Paramatma will number one give him justice properly, and also number two, Paramatma will punish me. So in this case, Maharishi's case, Paramatma has given justice to Maharishi Dayanand Saraswati by awarding moksha, and also Paramatma would have severely punished the Jivatma who is responsible for death of Maharishi. 100%, no doubt. The guy who served poison and the lady who is the mastermind for this activity, both, and then maybe another person we do not know, who are all involved in this, all would have been severely punished, and continuously, even now also they are in punishment, because when you kill a Brahma Rishi, Ananta Loga means where you cannot even find sukh, any sukh. The Jivatma will go to Anandalok. Ananda Loga. There is no Anand there. So these Jivatmas will still be in struggle because of Paramatma's justice. And in Maharishi Dayanand Saraswati is in supreme bliss. Maharishi Dayanand Saraswati got the reward of whatever karma he did when he was alive. And who really lost in this? Who is the real sufferer in this is not Maharishi, it is we people. If Maharishi is not killed by that person, Maharishi is probably alive even today, because Maharishi is a Naistik Brahmachari. Naistik Brahmachari can live up to 400 years. If somebody did not kill Maharishi, Maharishi would have been still alive. If Maharishi had been still alive, India would have been a world superpower for sure, because he is such a thinker, such a personality, Maharishi. He brought even in his... See, Maharishi learnt Vedas when he was 35 years. And he died in 59 years. See the amount of work Maharishi did in 20 years. He wrote Satyartha Prakash in 3 months. He wrote Rigveda Adi Bhashya Bhumika in 26 days. Can you imagine this book, Rigveda Adi Bhashya Bhumika? Can you imagine somebody can write in 20 days, 26 days? That's the kind of tapasya of Maharishi. If Maharishi had been alive, India would be superpower by this time. Seriously, I'm serious. So we must understand that the real sufferer, the real loss is to we people. The loss is not to Maharishi. Paramatma protected Maharishi and will protect those Jivatmas who are Dharmatmas. And if we are Dharmatma, God gives guarantee that God will protect. But Anyaya कहीं भी किसी से भी हो सकता है. Every one of us are subject to anyaya by anybody. That God will not stop, because God has given grant of free will to every one of us. So what we must do as a Dharmatma, we must not do anyaya to others, number one. And number two, when somebody is doing anyaya to others, if we can stop it, let's try to stop it, number two. And number three is always be in the shelter of Vedas and Acharya. So the protection is more means the protection of the karma. When you are in the shelter of Acharya, you will do good karma, you will do shubh karma. That karma, Paramatma will count and protect you in the next births, right? This is the supreme protection. And lastly, we all want what? We all want dukh nivriti. We do not want sufferings and misery and pain and dukh and fear in our life. That is completely destroyed. That dukh is completely destroyed by the grace of Paramatma in moksha. That is the ultimate protection of Paramatma. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.